Welcome to Feeding the Mind, Mindfulness for Improved Well-Being. This is Martha Sheridan from Augusta Behavioral Health, talking to you today about one of my favorite topics, mindfulness. Today, in this hour, in this time frame, we'll do several things. I'm going to start with a mindfulness exercise that's over 2,000 years old. Then we'll talk about some of the benefits of mindfulness. After we talk about the benefits, then we will do some basic mindfulness practice. I look forward to having this time to go over things that I think are extraordinarily important. Mindfulness is really pretty popular right now, and it makes a lot of sense because it actually has been shown to improve our well-being, to improve our mood, to actually help us deal with pain, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain. It's a pretty potent and powerful tool that really has been around in different traditions and in different ways for a long, long time. It's gaining popularity now, possibly because of our ability to research it, but also possibly because the world's a busy place, a busy and difficult place. Mindfulness is the practice of stepping back from being lost in thought and bringing our attention fully into the present moment, observing whatever arises in awareness with friendly curiosity. Mindfulness is non-judgmental and accepting of whatever arises, be it pleasant or unpleasant. Today, we're going to start the mindfulness exercise. We're going to start with the loving kindness meditation. This simple practice has been around for years, over 2,000 years. According to research, simply doing this exercise once a week or once a day has been shown to improve happiness and a sense of well-being. It can be done with small children, and they can send loving kindness to friends, teachers, family members, and pets. We can also do this. Let's start with a couple of deep cleansing breaths just to relax us while we're sitting comfortably. What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in to the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, and breathe out to the count of 4. And we're going to do this 3 times. So, if you're ready and comfortable, take a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, hold, out. In, hold, out. Now, something that I like to do with this exercise, we're going to direct the loving kindness first towards ourselves. So take your right hand and put it over your heart. Take your left hand and put it over your right hand. Directing loving kindness to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And directing it to someone we care about. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And directing it towards another person or towards the world or towards a pet. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And bringing it back to ourselves. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, well done. Some of the benefits of mindfulness, people have written about this in a variety of ways. There's nobody I like better on this topic than Jen Bays, MD. She wrote a book called How to Train a Wild Elephant. And some of these basic concepts come directly from that book. They're important concepts. So let's talk about them. Nothing is more precious than being in the present moment, fully alive, fully aware. I love that quote. Because the idea that mindfulness conserves energy is kind of a peculiar idea. It's like, well, how does it do that? You know, when we think about conserving energy, we think about it in all kinds of other ways. But basically, our mind can go a lot of places. And if you think about it, it typically spends a lot of time worrying about things from the past or fretting about things in the future. The mind has a habit of going back to those things over and over and over again. And it's estimated that the average person thinks between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts every day. And a lot of them aren't always constructive or helpful. It's rumination. It's thinking about the same old things in the same old ways, and sometimes just spinning. So one of the things that mindfulness can do is that we can be more present. Our mind can remind us over and over and over again about a mistake we made. Over and over and over, it can just kind of beat up on us about, oh, I cannot believe I did that stupid thing. But we wouldn't do that to a friend of ours. We wouldn't remind them over and over and over about a mistake they made. We wouldn't do it to a child, but our mind does it to itself. It's just not helpful. So once we learn to try and pull our mind into the present to be more effective and more at peace and more delighted, one of the things we teach a lot here at Behavioral Health is everyday mindfulness. And one of my favorite things to do, I love nature, and I just observe the nature on my drive to work. They're cows, sometimes they're horses. The sky is amazing. This morning, the moon was, you could see the moon this morning. It's about 3/4 full moon, and it was kind of thin with it looked thin. It looked like a thin wafer in the sky. It was quite beautiful. They're trees. And if the more I do that, the more I can see the beauty in every single day. I can come to work high as a kite just from the joy of seeing the beautiful world that is all around us, even on rainy days. If you're looking for the beauty, you will find it. It is amazing. The clouds are amazing. So yes, mindfulness conserves energy, and we're more able to be more effective and more fully in our lives. Mindfulness strengthens the mind. It trains the mind. Instead of the mind just going willy-nilly where it wants to go, we are more focused. We can therefore be more skilled. We can be more graceful, more effective. It's a powerful, powerful thing. Instead of being in the past or fretting about the future, we can be present in our lives, in our own heads, and much more effective. You certainly wouldn't want your air traffic controller to be worried about something that happened 6 years ago, or your brain surgeon to be thinking about what you're going to have for dinner. You want him or her in the present moment, focused. Mindfulness creates intimacy. If you think about it, our essential hunger is for intimacy. We want our relationships with others to be satisfying and strong and good. By being mindful, we're tuning in to our own needs, so we're able to identify them more effectively. We're able to share them more effectively because we're really tuning in to how we are and what we need. So we're more able to then communicate our needs and our thoughts, but we're also able to listen, to be fully present with our partner or our child or our friend, to be fully present with them when they're talking. One of the things we'll observe when we're trying to really listen to someone is that our mind will drift. That's the mind. It will, all of a sudden, we'll have a thought. Mindfulness practice says observe that thought and let go of it and pull yourself back into the present moment. We can strengthen our relationships by learning to be more mindful. Here's probably the biggest and most important one to focus on. Mindfulness stops our struggling and conquers fear. This one I'm going to read you a part from the book, How to Train a Wild Elephant, that I will read in groups because it says it so beautifully. Our usual tendency is to try to arrange the world and other people so that we are comfortable. We spend a lot of energy trying to make the temperature around us just right, the lighting just right, the fragrance in the air just right, the food just right, our beds and chairs just the right softness, the colors of the walls just right, the grounds around our homes just right, and the people around us, our children, intimate partners, friends, coworkers, and even pets, just right. But try as we might, things don't stay the way we want them. Sooner or later, our child throws a temper tantrum, dinner burns, the heating system breaks down, we become ill. If we are able to stay present and open even to welcome experiences and people that aren't comfortable for us, they will lose their power to frighten us and make us react or flee. If we can do this over and over again, we will have gained an amazing power, rare in the human world, to be happy despite constantly changing conditions. That's pretty powerful. Mindfulness stops our struggling and conquers fear. The quote here, don't look for peace, don't look for any other state than the one you're in now. Otherwise, you will set up inner conflicts and unconscious resistance. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. The moment you completely accept your non-peace becomes transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender. Surrender to what is. Life is not how it should be. Life is how it is. I had a professor in graduate school who said, quit shitting on yourself. So we're constantly wanting things to be as we think they should be. And that's okay to work in that direction. But things ultimately aren't how they should be. They're just how they are. We certainly can try and impact them. But it's equally important to learn to let go and accept what is. With anxiety, one of the most powerful tools that we have that can actually help us calm down is breathing. And we're going to talk about that more in a little bit. But this is a big topic. We literally, by learning how to quiet our brain, by breathing, by mindfully doing something else, can actually access our frontal lobe, our wise mind, and we can make better decisions. Pretty powerful stuff. Mindfulness supports our spiritual life. Mindfulness practices brings us back to right here, right now, this one precious life. It brings us into this moment, into appreciation of this moment, of our beating heart, our ability to breathe, our ability to taste and see, our ability to touch. We are here. We can feel the cool water or the warm water. We can look at nature. We can be present with a grandchild or a child or a friend. We can taste the good food. Mindfulness practice brings us to appreciation of each moment of the particular life we've been given can become a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for this moment, gratitude for all the blessings of this life. Sometimes people will talk about how life isn't fair, and it isn't fair. But we can turn that one upside down. If it were fair, then why would there be people on the planet without access to clean water? I've had access to clean water my whole life, except perhaps on a camping trip where I didn't bring enough. I've had access to clean water. There are people that don't have access to adequate food. Most of us listening to this have access to adequate food. So, yes, life is not fair, and we certainly can work towards making it more fair in ways that we can. But we can appreciate more what we have when we begin to recognize all of the blessings that we do have, even in a difficult life, even in a hard time. We can recognize the gifts because we're tuned in and we're paying attention mindfulness can become a constant prayer of gratitude. So, one of my very favorite things to talk to people about is breathing as mindfulness exercise. Breathing is the most important thing we do, but the thing we pay the least amount of attention to. Our breathing has gotten so dysfunctional that we think it's normal. Turns out you can use a better breath to fight anxiety, sleep better, and exercise harder. When we're anxious, we tend to breathe shallow and faster. And so one of the things we can do to calm down when we're anxious is to breathe slower and deeper. Imagining that our lungs are down in our belly and filling our belly up and having our rib cage go out, that deep breath can just relax us some. Just that taking a deep breath in, it's really the out breath that helps us relax. The longer the out breath, the better. So you can start by breathing in. We did it earlier for 4 seconds and breathing out for 4 seconds. We can increase that as we're comfortable so that the fastest way to stop anxiety is to slow your breathing down to about 5 breaths per minute. Well, if you can't get to that level, that's okay. Meet yourself where you are. Just breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. We can add a lot of nuance to this. We can breathe in what we want in. Our body actually hears what we tell it. That is both a wonderful thing and a frightening thing. Because if we tell it, oh, I'm so stupid, it just heard that. But if we tell our body that we're breathing in peace or relaxation or calm, the body hears that and it believes that. We can breathe in peace and breathe out tension. We can breathe out anxiety. We can breathe out anything we want to get out of our system. If we're having a disagreement with somebody, we can breathe out all of the icky feelings about that disagreement and get them out and have them go down into the ground and out of your body. Again, the body, the science of neuroplasticity is saying that we really have a lot more potential to heal ourselves. And a big part of that is what we put in our body, what food, what thoughts, and we can have control over what we want to think. So we can breathe in what we want and breathe out what we want to get rid of. And if we're telling ourselves that, the brain hears it. A little experiment that I do to illustrate this is I'll have everybody in a group smile really big under their masks. And then I can kind of tell from their eyes, you can kind of tell from people's eyes if they're smiling. And I'll say, while you're smiling, I want you to try and get in touch with your feelings of sadness about something. And what almost everybody discovers is that they can get into their thought about something sad. But while they're smiling real big, they can't get into the feeling. And I don't do this so that they'll go and smile and just be fake. That's not the point of the activity. The point of that activity is for them to realize that their face believes the smile. So our body believes what we tell it. So when we tell it that I believe that you can calm down, you can breathe in calm, and you can breathe out anxiety, the body hears you. But when you say, I'm just anxious, I'm going to be anxious for the rest of my life, I know it, the body hears that too. So what we say can be very, very important. We can choose what we say. We can choose to challenge some of our extreme thinking, and that can help us reduce our anxiety. Breathing can be more than we think it is. The cleansing breath. Sometimes all you need to release stress from your shoulders back or the rest of your body is a few big cleansing breaths. This says breathe in deeply through your nose and take in as much air as you comfortably can. Then release it and really focus on emptying your lungs. The general wisdom is to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. But I always say to do what's most comfortable, because some people have trouble breathing in through their nose, especially if they're allergy season or if they're a little congested. To do what's most comfortable for them is perfectly fine. So let's take a deep cleansing breath. We'll breathe in deeply and take as much air as we comfortably can, and then we'll release it slowly. So deep cleansing breath in. And out. And relax. Relax your shoulders. That's probably my go-to thing that I do. I do it many times a day, sometimes very consciously, and other times just out of habit now. I know that that will help me just relax a little bit more. And that's a wonderful thing. We can also breathe in sometimes a color. Some people are very visual. And if you visualize a calm color as blue or white or whatever colors is the color that you want inside of you, and we can breathe out whatever color we want to get out of us. And for some people, that can be extraordinarily effective. And I have found people cross the rainbow with this one in terms of what they perceive as the color that's relaxing and the color that they want to get out of them. And the colors, either one can be a mix, but it can be helpful to visualize color and the feelings that you want inside. So breathing can be so much tailored to who you are and what you need in and what you need out. And when you let it out, you can let it go into the ground. Let the tension go. And every time you let it go, relax a little bit. Relax your muscles. Feel any tension in your body and relax it. This is a good exercise that you can do absolutely anywhere, even though I will tend to make breath noise when I'm doing this with others. This is the kind of thing you could even do in the waiting room. It's gently inhaling. It's called 4 square breathing because you're holding for 4 seconds. You're breathing in for 4 seconds. As the diagram shows, you're holding for 4 seconds. You're breathing out for 4 seconds, and you're holding for 4 seconds. So it's 4 square. You can think of the square. And you do this 4 times. This one you could do in a waiting room. People don't have to hear you do this because you could just gently inhale through your nose. Hold the breath. And gently exhale through your mouth. And hold. And do it 3 more times. Let's do that together. So everybody, gently inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 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 That's called 4 square breathing. That's something you can do just to calm yourself or just to center yourself. And if you are particularly anxious because of something that you just saw or felt or experienced internally, if you want to do it again, you can do it again. It's a very simple exercise. One of my very favorite exercises is vagus nerve breathing. One of the longest cranial nerves is the vagus nerve that runs from up in your brain, down your spine, interacting with multiple organs. It's what we think of as a little bit of the emotional balance box. And when you've heard advertisements about TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, possibly on the radio. It's actually a new treatment where they magnetically locate the vagus nerve and then they tap it for, I think, 25 minutes sessions, 5 or 6 days a week for several weeks. They use this for people who are profoundly depressed, who haven't responded well to antidepressants, but they're also using it for a variety of other purposes because it's such an important nerve. They're trying to kind of wake it up because it's not working very well. And so they're trying to kind of activate it. This particular, any long, slow breathing can help activate the vagus nerve. But there's a particular exercise that I like a lot that they actually teach to Navy SEALs so that they can stay calm and focused during difficult missions. And sometimes our lives especially during this time of pandemic, are a difficult mission. They may not be quite totally compatible with what Navy SEALs are up against, but hey, it's our life. So it can help to have this very, very good exercise. And the way this one goes is that you put your hands in front of you, right? The first picture, and the second picture is the closest I could find to that position, because what we're going to do, every time our hands are together like this, we're going to feel the warmth of our hands, and then we're going to breathe in as we expand our hands like the second picture. So we're going to breathe in, to the count of 4. I won't be counting out loud, I'll just be directing you. And then we will, like an accordion, we will push the air back out as our hands come back to the middle. So we'll, to the count of 4. We'll hold for 2. We'll open them up again as we breathe in. To the count of 4, we'll hold for 2, and we'll push them back together. I actually think it helps to, as we're opening them, we're filling our lungs with air, like putting air into the accordion. And as we're pushing it out, our hands come together, pushing the air out of the accordion. So even though that's not the name of this exercise, that's what it reminds me of. And I think that image actually helps. So we're going to do this together. If you put your hands together like the first picture in a prayer-like position, and then slowly breathe until your hands are at the sides. Breathe in. And out. Feel the warmth of your hands. Deep breath in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Rest your hands, breathe normally. Relax your shoulders and feel your brain. Sometimes people who have been doing breathing exercises for a while can get a little bit of a buzz from this one. It's the same kind of little feeling of little buzz in their head that you might get after a workout, kind of like a runner's high. It usually doesn't linger very long, but you can feel your brain, you can feel almost little chemistry shift, and it's kind of lovely when you feel it. So look for that. That's why I suggest you tune into your brain. This is one of my favorite ones because it really can help. You can combine those other elements of breathing in calm, breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. This can help a lot to have you feel cool, calm, and collected and ready to handle whatever you need to handle next. This is the kind of thing you can do if you have a private access to a private restroom, and I know in the hospital there are several of them where you can literally go in and you're by yourself. You can do this one in there. And if you have an office, you can do it in your office with the door shut. This is one I've taught to a variety of people I've taught it to everyone in my choir. So we can teach, this is one, pass it on, because this can actually be extraordinarily helpful at just bringing the tension down and bringing the sense of well-being closer in. So this is a little food for the brain today. Some thoughts about mindfulness and how it can work for us. And I've just touched the surface. Mindfulness can help reduce pain. We could do another whole hour just on how that works. But it can help tremendously with any kind of discomfort. Just to give you a hint of that, the first person who really helped me understand how breathing could help with pain was the nurse that was teaching my Lamaze class. Because I had the thought that, having a 7 or 8 pound baby come out of you is, how can you make that feel better with breathing? And she really explained to me in a few minutes. She said, what happens when you're having a contraction is you have pain. And what we tend to do when we have pain is we tend to tense up around it, which, guess what, makes it more painful. So by focusing on your breath and relaxing, you're less likely to tense up around it. You're less likely to have it hurt more, and therefore you have less pain. Voila. I was amazed. I thought, oh, okay, I get this. Breathing can help with pain. Powerful. You have less pain. Still hurts. So yeah, if we get, one of those terrible paper cuts, it still hurts. But breathing can actually help us deal with it. Just focusing on our breath. We're not focusing on the pain as much. It's not going to hurt as much. It's kind of amazing. Not simple. It's simple on the surface, but the more we practice, the more it helps. It's remarkable. So today we've talked about some of the benefits of mindfulness. We've talked about loving kindness, meditation, which is something you can do with your family. You can do it just for yourself. But it really can make you happier and more confident. And we've talked about just breathing to deal with anxiety and stress. It can help bring our anxiety and stress down. And that's something we all want, because life is stressful. If you have any questions or want any more information, don't hesitate to call me at Augusta Behavioral Health. I've enjoyed having this chance to interact with you today. Thank you.